Let each thing you would say, do, or intend be like that of a dying person, because you are a dying person. We view death as something that is out there, something that is going to happen one day. But I believe this is the wrong view to take. It's the wrong frame of mind to hold towards death. Because truly, death is happening every second that passes. Every second that passes, you are inching closer to death. And it is truly, the angels do not leak the expiration date. And we will never know when that date is to come. But we do know we are inching closer to it. We do know that we are not getting any younger. And to view death as something out there, I believe is a grave mistake. Because you truly should view everything you do, say, or intend as doing it as a dying person. If you somehow came to the knowledge that today was your last day, you probably wouldn't spend it like a normal day. And to me, that's unsettling. You'd spend today if you didn't know it was your last day, spending hours on social media, um, just doing trivial, pointless tasks, and on a daily basis, I think there is things that have to be done in service to our future selves. If like making money, for instance, and keeping up with your health. Not I enjoy going to the gym, but I can understand if you only go to the gym for future health benefits. And if you truly knew it was your last day, you may not want to go to the gym. You may not want to eat you know chicken, broccoli, and rice, and that's understandable. So some things we do have to be in service to our future selves. But there's a lot of things that we do that aren't in service to future or our present selves. And they're just done for no good reason. And when you live life in the light that you are dying, they seem like such a waste of time. Spending hours scrolling on social media, spending hours gossiping about other people, about trivial things. It seems like such a waste of time. Such a waste of time. And if you knew it was your last day, if you knew you were dying, you wouldn't do those things. But you are dying. We all have a cancer diagnosis. The second we are born, it says you are going to die. But nobody, especially in this day and age, is reminded of it. It's not as common as it used to be to experience things of that nature. Death in today's society is put away from society. You have places you go and you just fade away, and you know, it's not like it used to be, where it was just staring you in the face constantly. Say in ancient antiquity or the Middle Ages. In I think the last 200 years, maybe even less, the human life expectancy expectancy wow, I'm sorry, has doubled. It used to be like 40 or something, and now it's like 80 in a lot of countries, which is absolutely absurd that it has doubled in that time. It's just not as prevalent, and it's just not as in your face as it used to be. So people spend so much time acting like, I don't know, it's not coming, but it's coming, and it's happening to you this very second. You may delay, but time will not. Time will never delay. It just keeps going, keeps going. unless you are traveling at the speed of light and, maybe time stops, theoretically, possibly. I've been into physics lately, so pardon that. But, you may delay, but time will not. Time will just keep going while you embark on your trivial, meaningless task. And then one day you'll wake up and you'll be sore and you'll look in the mirror and you'll realize you're, 80 years old and you'll wonder where all the time went. And it's because you didn't live as if you were dying. You lived as if you were immortal. We live as if we're immortal in all that we desire and as if we are mortal in all that we fear. We live a life governed by fear, and then we act like we have so much time to do the things we want to do. We act like later, I'll do it later is truly the greatest lie ever told. I'll do it tomorrow. Why save for tomorrow what can be done today properly? Why do that? Why do that? If it's the right thing to do, then it's the right thing for you to do right here, right now. And I think this can happen so much easier with just a simple reframing of the mind, with just a understanding that we are dying, that life is not getting any longer, that we are inching closer and closer to being 6 feet under. And it can happen so unexpectedly too. It's not like it's a guarantee that you make it to 80, to make it to 60, to make it to 40, to make it to 30. These are not guarantees. These are averages. And for every person that makes it to, say 100, there's someone who doesn't make it past 40. It's just a statistic, it's just an average. And if you put your money on being average, then I don't know, that's doesn't sit right with me personally, but I just think we need to get rid of this notion that death is something in the future, but because it is truly something that is happening right now. I flipped this hourglass at the start of this video, and I've died that much. And just imagine this on a enormous scale, and somehow it's predestined how much sand you have. The sand it's never filling back up. It never stops, until it does. And say this is an hourglass of your life and it somehow knows, the sand never stops and the sand never gets added. More sand never gets added. And when you spend a whole day not getting out of bed, playing video games, watching TV, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I mean, things are neither good or bad. Thinking makes them so. But I think you should realize what you're doing. And if you're okay with the sand falling out of your life that whole day while doing what you're doing, then that's fine by me. If it's okay with you, it's okay with me. But a part of me just doesn't think it's okay with as many people who do it because they don't understand what they're really doing. They're misguided. And they may not know what to do. They may not know what their time would be best in service to. So they just do trivial, meaningless activities. This is no one's fault inherently, but it is a point I want to stress and a point I want to make and hopefully bring to somebody's eyes that we are dying. You are dying, and the more and more time you waste, the less and less of this life you get to live in service to something great, in service to dreams, in service to others. And I think simple reframing that you are dying you're not going to die. You simply are dying can help us not waste so much time. It truly has helped me waste less time. I hope it does the same for you.